Hey everyone, this is it. This is my guide to Legend, part 1, stats tracking and deck choices. So when I finished the last season, I was a little bit shocked because I received this message here. I was like, what? I didn't get Legend? No, just kidding. I was a little bit shocked because it said I still reached the top 2% of all ranked players. So I didn't really have the time to push for Legend. That's why I just got to rank 5. And in my mind, I kind of thought the Sea Giant was the top 5% of all players. So I looked it up in the internet and I found this nice article on the Blizzard homepage named You're Better Than You Think You Are. And that article explained that only the top 0.5% players reach Legend and only the top 2% players reach the high ranks. So this kind of sets my guide to the high ranks a little bit in perspective. So when you reach level 10 already, you are kind of very high already. And this shows what a hell of a goal you just set to yourself when you want to reach Legend. This was proven also by this message when I reached rank 1 this season. It told me that I already belong to the top 0.25% of all players. When I reached Legend, there was unfortunately no message, so I cannot tell you right now to what percentage I belong right now. So this guide will be a brief series because I know you guys like it short, and yeah, the guide will give you tools to give yourself the ability to make decisions for yourself so that you can tell which deck should I play, which tech cards should I play, and that kind of stuff. It will give you support in all these decisions, and so you will be a better player in the end. And I will also give you some more resources on how to improve yourself and what you really should look for. So I don't want to really target this guide for only the top 2% of all players, which are really in the high ranks pushing for Legend. I want to kind of target it for everyone because it's the guide to Legend. Everybody wants to watch it and everybody wants to gain some valuable information out of it. So that's why I will add some icons when I'm talking about the players which are a little bit more in the lower ranks, and when I'm talking a little bit more about the players which are in the higher ranks. And the players in between can choose where they want to look at. Okay, what people tell me when I ask them what they play against is something like, I play only against Secret Paladin, which I really doubt because there's of course a lot of much more out there than just Secret Paladin. Sometimes they answer, I mainly play against Secret Paladin and Patron Warrior. And then I ask them, what about Druids? And then they're like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes they say, natural Paladins, some Druids, something like that, very unspecific. Sometimes they are honest and say, I don't know, I don't check my stats. And sometimes they have a different answer like, I always lose to Smork or I always lose to Face Hunter, which is not really helpful. Okay, so why should you track your stats? There's something called selective recognition. That means you only remember very remarkable moments of your past. So your brain lies to you. That means you cannot really distinguish what's important to remember and what not. So I will give you one example, very quick. In the past, I thought I was losing to very many Face Hunters, and then I looked at my stats and I saw that I lost against 3 Face Hunters that day. That was really true. But I also lost already 10 times against Zulok in this month. So I didn't really have to adapt against Face Hunter, but I should adapt against Zulok. So make sure to get the correct numbers. That is why stats tracking is absolutely required. Okay, now we want to answer the question, which deck should I play? What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be the Mysterious Challenger Secret Paladin? Is it the Face Hunter? Is it Grim Patron? Is that really the best deck? Or is it the Handlock with its mighty Molten Giants? Who knows? People ask me questions like, is Midrange Hunter still viable? Is Patron Warrior the best deck? And I will give you now tools how to find out which is the best deck for you to play, because this question can only be answered by yourself. Okay, a tool which elevates statistics should have the following functions, in my opinion at least. It should be totally automatic because I'm a guy, I'm lazy. I don't want to type down everything in an Excel sheet after a game happened, because I will just forget after about my games. So yeah, it should be automatic and it should be accurate. I don't want to correct the results all the time. It should be deck-based as opposed to class-based, because sometimes people show me statistics against Warrior and then I ask them, did you play against Patron Warrior or against Control Warrior? And then they don't know the answer, so they cannot know if they should adapt their deck against Patron Warrior or against Control Warrior, because the tool they are using doesn't distinguish between the deck types. So that's really important. Then the tool should give you a decent data overview, so you can really make use of the data, and you should be, of course, somewhat comfortable with the tool. So my personal choice here is trackerbot.com. There are several other tools out there, but as an example, I will show you now what you can do with this tool. So this is how Trackerbot looks like. You can see I played my last matches as Midrange Hunter. Now let's have a look at the statistics overview the tool provides. I want to see the statistics of all my decks right now, and I want to watch the statistics for ranked mode only, because that's what I'm really interested in. Now you can see my complete statistics here. Now let's focus on the current month, and now you see what I played the most in this current month. It was Midrange Hunter, Tempo Mage and Midrange Paladin. Let's have a look at the detailed statistics of Midrange Paladin. You can really see now where the deck shines and where it doesn't. You can see that I stomped the Secret Paladins. Also, I was very good against Midrange Hunter, Combo Druid and Dragon Priest. And my main weakness kinda was Midrange Paladin, the mirror matchup, which is quite interesting. Then Patron Warrior, Mag Mage and Handlock. On the bottom, you can see what I played against. It gives you a really nice summary that I played mostly against Secret Paladin, then Midrange Paladin, then Combo Druid, and so on. And these statistics you can now compare to other decks, like my Midrange Hunter. You can now find out what are the strengths and the weaknesses of your decks. So now you will see I was still doing pretty okay against Secret Paladin. I was doing pretty good against Patron Warrior. And I also had a little bit trouble with Midrange Paladin. And you again will find the statistics down here, what I played against. Okay, that's what the tool can do for you. Now I will show you what you can do with this data. You can use this data to answer the question, which deck should I play? When I made my final push for Legend this season, I looked at what my opponents were playing and changed my deck based on that data. So I saw that I was mainly playing against Secret Paladin, Midrange Druid, Midrange Paladin and Midrange Hunter, some Patron Warriors, some Control Warriors, some Handlocks and various types of mages. And the rest of the data I discarded because the amount of the data was really too small to make a good statement. So I saw that there were almost no Face Hunters and no Zulocks, and that kinda is very good for my Midrange Hunter. Also the matchups Secret Paladin, Midrange Druid and all the other ones are pretty good for my Midrange Hunter, except maybe for the Midrange Paladin. That's a small weakness of my Midrange Hunter. So I thought immediately, oh, Midrange Hunter, that could be the place to go. But I still want to show you another tool I also used at that moment for deck selection. The tool was developed by Nocturne from TempoStorm, and it is an Excel sheet I will present you right now. Here you can see the Excel tool. All you have to insert is the deck name and the percentage you are playing against that deck. You have to enter the top 7 decks you are playing against and the amount you are playing against that deck. And then the tool will give you an answer which deck is the most suited against your current meta. Well, how does this tool compute this? It's using a matchup table. You can actually modify this matchup table, which I did a little bit, so don't really take these numbers too serious here. I did some slight modifications here. So, but you can now see here which deck is good against which, and what the tool is doing now, it's looking at, okay, most of the time he is playing against Secret Paladin and Druid, and so on and so on. And now the tool is checking which deck has the best win rate overall against your current meta. And that's really a kind of very nice thing. And the tool told me that I should play Handlock, Patron Warrior, and Midrange Hunter. And I was like, okay, I don't even have the cards to construct a Handlock, so Handlock I cannot really play. And when you saw my videos on my YouTube channel where I played Patron Warrior, you will know that I'm really not the best Patron Warrior player. So I was like, okay, Midrange Hunter is the place to be for me right now. And I chose Midrange Hunter to push for Legend, and it worked out. So here I want to give an advice for the higher rank players. If you are in the higher ranks already, you should really have a look at your data, analyze your data, and maybe choose another deck according to your current meta. When you are in the lower ranks, the meta will look very different. In the lower ranks, there's much more going on. Deck lists are not so refined. People are playing very, very different cards in each deck. So you should focus on your optimal play and don't worry too much about your personal deck list. As long as you take one of the deck lists which are listed by the meta snapshots from Tempo Storm and Liquid Hearth, you should be really fine to go, and you should not really have to adapt your deck that much. The Excel sheet already revealed my last point, comfort decks. So the deck choice influences, of course, the factors you have to win a game or to lose a game. So there is, of course, a little bit luck involved. There's a little bit inherent deck advantage, optimal play, and deck knowledge. But if you pick a deck where you're really comfortable with, that will heavily influence your optimal play and also your deck knowledge. Because, of course, you will know some matchups really by heart. You will certainly know, oh, when I now play this and that card, then my opponent can only answer with that one card. Or I have been here in this matchup several times before. When I do now this and this and this, it will not work out, or some stuff like that. So you really get a nice boost for your win factors. So comfort decks can be a huge plus, and the Excel sheet also showed that not all cards are required to reach Legend, because I didn't even have the Handlock cards to construct the deck. And for the players in the lower ranks, I really advise you to get comfort with one deck at a time. You can watch my guide to reach the high ranks to get a little bit more details on that. And for the players which are already in the higher ranks, I recommend you to play your best deck against the current meta and do that by statistic analysis. Okay, let's summarize a little bit. So Legend is the top 0.5% of all players, and that's a hell of a goal you just set to yourself here. And I told you that you should track your stats, and I showed you how you can have a look at your stats and how you can analyze your stats to make sure that you are playing an appropriate deck against your current meta. So my recommendation for players in the lower ranks is to get comfortable with one deck at a time, and for the higher ranks, the deck choice really matters a little bit more. The next episode will answer the question when you should use tech cards. So you don't have to ask the programmers anymore if you should run Kazan Mystic right now. Alright, that's it. As always, leave questions and critiques in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye bye.